Okay, we're starting Perek Malachim Beis, and just a little background. So, we just finished talking about Yoash, and Yoash became the Melech. He was 7 years old, and now it's talking about all about him. So let's go. Pasuk Perek Beis Pasuk Aleph. Ben Sheva Shanim Yoash Malach. So now he was 7 years old, and Yoash becomes the Melech of Yehuda. Now, when was that? Was B'Shna Sheva Yehu? It was the 7th year of Yehu. Malach Yoash, in the 7th year Yehu, Malach ruled. Ba'arbam Shana Malach B'Shalayim, and for 40 years he ruled in Shalayim. And Shem Imai, who was the mother of Yoash, was Sivya Beersheba. He was Sivya from Beersheba. Pasuk Gimel. Okay, so now Yoash is the Melech. Yoash is the Melech. Yas Yoash Hayash Bein Hashem Chayamav. Yoav, he followed in the ways of Hashem all his days. Asher Yehoyada the Kohen. All the days that Yehoyada was the Kohen Gadol. Then in those days Yoash was Yashar. What does that mean? So Rashi explains that once Yehoyada, the Kohen Gadol, died, what happened was the people, they started bowing down. They started making Yoash into Hashem. They made it into they used to worship him, and they said like this: somebody goes in the Kodesh Kodashim for 1 minute, the Kohen Gadol, what happens? You could die. So you're such a high madrega. You went ahead and lived in the upstairs of the Kodesh Kodashim for 6 years. You must be on a special high level, and therefore they went ahead and they said, okay, you are like we have to start bowing down to you. We have to treat you like a likah. So he got this head. So and he started going off a little bit. So as long as his Rebbe Yehoyada was, the Kohen Gadol was around, he raised him, so he was good. But until then, he started going off. Okay, now Pasuk Dalet. It says like this: Barak Bamas Surus. He was good. The only thing is he didn't get rid of the Bamas. And the people there, they used to still bring the Bamas, even though technically you weren't allowed to. But at least they didn't go ahead and worship the Baal. There were different levels, but it was pretty good. Okay, now Pasuk Hey starts the interesting part. So now the Beis HaMikdash was in disarray because during the 6 years of Athalyah, or during her kingship, she didn't care about the Beis HaMikdash, so it started falling apart. It needed repairs in the Beis HaMikdash. So now Yoash went ahead and he made a campaign, and he's trying to figure out how to go ahead and to fix the Beis HaMikdash. Pasuk Hey, he says, "Call a kesef kadoshim," all the money of kadoshim, right? Shayaviu Beis Hashem, that comes, it's brought to the Beis Hashem. A kesef ovel ish, either it's through machzah shekel or kesef nashis orka. If somebody says orach alai, somebody wants to give their value to the Beis HaMikdash, that's called erichin, or called kesef hashayala leiv ish. If somebody wants to give money, whatever money he wants to give the Havi Beis Hashem. If you want to bring money, so instead of randomly giving the money and it doesn't go anywhere, let's try to focus. It's what he says is yichul lehem kayhanim. You should give the money directly to a kain that you know he's a friend. Ish meis makira, somebody, a friend that he's a kain, and then veheim yichasku es bedek abayis l'chol asher yimsa sham bedek. So let's say I have a friend who's a kain. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to give it to my friend who's a kain, and he'll go ahead and he'll do the work and he'll fix it up. The problem with that is it didn't work. Now, why didn't it work? Because if you want to get something done, you don't have 100 people doing the job. So if every kain is going to be fixing his own construction projects, basically you get nothing done. So what happens? Instead of that, they decided a new system. We'll see in a second. With the 23rd year of the Melech Yoash, okay, it was in his 23rd year. They still didn't get to fix anything up. It's 23 years later, and nothing got done. Okay, in the 23rd year of the kingship, still nothing got done. So we see exactly if you want to get something done, this is not the way to do it. So what did he do? Melech Yoash Yehoyada the Kohen. So the King Yoash, he calls to Yehoyada, the Kahana, and V'yamer, he tells them, why is it not working? He says, you know what, I have a new idea. Don't take it from your people you know, and your friend Kohen, and let him do it. Don't do that. We're going to do Ki Lebedek Abayis, and give it directly to the Bedek Abayis. Give it directly to the Beis HaMikdash. And what's going to happen? And well, first of all, so everybody, all the Kahanim agreed that what? Not to take from the people. The Kahanim decided, no problem, we're not taking from the people anymore. The Vilti Chazek as Bedek Abayis. And in order what? And they're not going to go in that direction. Instead, what did they do? We'll see in a second. They created the first Pushka project. But first of all, the Chiddush is that they actually agreed. Because imagine I give money to my friend. It seems like why wasn't it getting done? It must have been some sort of corruption, maybe. But if that was the case, then why would they agree not they agreed not to take it. Nobody agrees not to be corrupt. So we'll see it in a shot in a second, maybe why. But either way, they said this system's not working. Let's make a new system, and they did. Pasuk Yud, but Yehoyada the Kohen Gadol. He said, let's make a box. He made a hole on top. This was the original pushka, and this is where it takes place. It takes place in the Beis HaMikdash from Yoash. This is the first. The Melech was Yoash. Yehoyada the Kohen Gadol made the pushka. He put it next to his Mizbeach, on the right side. Beis Hashem. When someone came inside, Nas Shama, he put money in there. The Kahanim Shani Asaf, the Kahanim and the guards, as called Akes they watched it to make sure, it was under control. So now, what's the idea of the pushka? The idea of a pushka is that the money will go straight into the pushka, and from there, we'll see in a second, it's going to go directly to the contractor. There's no in-betweens. When everyone's doing it, nothing gets done. But you have one pushka, one place where the money goes, one central location, you create a system, then it works. And let's see what happened. They saw Akes of Aram, and when let's say the pushka filled up, was full, the Yal Cipher, a Melech, then the Cipher would come, a Kohen Gadol would come, the Yerutzu, the Yimnu, Kesev, and they took a bag and somehow they counted the money, and whenever the money was found, that went to the Beis HaMikdash. So now they put a system in place, and what do? Not just the Kesev, Hamatukan, they took the counted money, to those who did the work. So let's say they had to hire, we'll see in a second, let's say they had to hire a guy to fix the woodwork. So now he went to the Pushka and he gave him the money directly. He paid the contractor, there was no anyone in between, there were no kickbacks, it went straight direct. When I did Malacha, whoever was appointed, Beis Hashem, they pay the carpenter and the builder, Beis Hashem, whoever they worked at Beis Hashem, or the Gedaiderim, and the people who did the cement, or the people, the wood cut and the stone cutters, or the person to buy the wood, that means the people who quarry the stones out of the ground. In order to restore, to bring it back to the way it's supposed to be, they have to realize it got a lot of use over the years and it wasn't taken care of. So now they got the money and it went direct, and therefore it worked. And also the it's a bias l'chazaka. Whatever needed to be fixed in the Beis Hashem. So now the money that went direct. It says went direct. It worked, and this system kind of works, and pretty much how it works today. Every successful tzedakah campaign, the money goes to a central location, and then from there it goes out, and that usually works. But to have everyone doing everything, nothing happens at all. Lo yasa Beis Hashem. But the only thing is, they did not make Beis Hashem sipur as kesem as maris. They didn't use this money for, like, let's say they want to go ahead and get some new pitchers, musical instruments, or mizraka, let's say they need new trumpets or basins. Kol kli kesef, kol kli zav kesef. That min hakesef muvay Beis Hashem. That was not used for this money. Now this money was used specifically for construction and for restoration, not for new decoration. It wasn't for that. And now the people, for the people who supervised the work, they gave and they supported Beis Hashem. Oh, okay. Now, so the money was used only for restoration, not for any new ideas that somebody had. Someone decided they need new decor. That's not from this, or new, let's say, kalim and stuff like that. Now, v'lo chashvu es hanashim asher titu as kesel yadam. Law says aisem b'lacha ki b'muna heim aisem. That means they didn't go ahead and demand exact accounting for every penny to me, the contractor who's doing the work, right? Again, the money came into Beis HaMikdash, and now it was counted, and then I went ahead and I paid the contractors. But they didn't bother me for every penny, because if you overmanage people and you don't trust people, it doesn't work. And that's today as well. They trusted them that what they did was right, and that's it. Now, Pasuk Zion, Kesev Asham, Chesev Chatais, Loiv Beis Hashem, kind of new. So let's say they needed by Kabbanis. That was not from this count. That was from a separate accounting. This money was specifically what? For the restoration project. Pasuk Ches, almost finished the Perek. So now they fixed up the Beis HaMikdash. It was all good. And now Chazael, we said earlier, was from Aram. What happened? He went ahead and he conquered Gas. And what? And he conquered it. So now basically, Aram comes to Israel and is starting up. Lalois al Yerushalayim. He set face, so he was heading towards Yerushalayim. He wanted to capture Yerushalayim. Okay? What happens? So at this point, Yehu already died, and what? And this point already is already later in the years where Yoash already is becoming like we said earlier, is becoming their god, and he's kind of going off already, and it wasn't good times. Klal Yisrael wasn't following the mitzvahs. So now what happened is Chazael starts up with Klal Yisrael, Chazael from Aram. And what happened? You got Yoash Melech Yehuda as Kol HaKadoshim. So Yoash Melech Yehuda takes all the Kadoshim HaKadisha Yishayfet, all different sacred objects in the Beis HaMikdash, maybe the gold, the silver, and Yehoyada the Kohen Gadol Melech Yehuda as Kadoshim Evesk Kol Hazav Nifsa. He takes everything. He cleans out the Beis HaMikdash, Beis HaMelech, V'yishalach Chazael Melech Yehuda Melech Aram, V'yal Me'Yushalayim, and he turned back. So basically, he gave the money as a bribe. But again, Chazael comes from Aram, and he goes and he's coming to Eretz Yisrael, and he already got the gas, and now he's on the way to Shalayim. And the Melech Yoash is like, oh my gosh, this is not good. He went to the Beis HaMikdash, he took out all the holy objects in the Beis HaMikdash, and he gave it to him as a bribe. And Chazael turned around and said, okay, thank you. Now the pasuk says, "Yes, Divrei Yoash." If you want to hear more about Yoash, my day, I'll say for Divrei Yomi Yehuda. You want to hear more about it? So that's basically the end of his life. If you want to hear more, you can look it up in Divrei Yomi, because we know Malachim is not a sefer of Malachim is not a sefer of storybooks. If you want to hear more about it, you can go to Divrei Yomi. Just one interesting thing. What's the continuation? What's it referring to? So there's an interesting story that we all know. It's brought down on Tisha B'Av, the famous story I say that Yoash, we know that was the king. Now, Yehoyada was Kohen Gadol. Now Yehoyada had a son, his name is Zechariah. What happened to Zechariah? The Nevuah came in, the Klal Yisrael was doing Averis, and they got to do tshuva. And they went ahead and they killed Zechariah, they stoned him in the Beis HaMikdash on Yom Kippur. Okay? And who authorized it? They say either Yoash authorized it, or he knew about it, he didn't stop them, whatever it was. And because of that, you have to realize, Yehoyada raised him. And now his own son, Zechariah, goes ahead and gets killed in the Beis HaMikdash on Yom Kippur. And that's like the ultimate Kafi Taiv. So we're going to see in a minute, he gets punished through someone who's a Kafi Taiva. So that's the idea. So if you want to hear more about the story, and the famous story is referring to the story where the son of Yehoyada the Kohen Gadol gets killed in the Beis HaMikdash. Yes, it did. Like we said, okay. But the last two psukim, the servants got up and they made a revolt. And they hit Yoash in the place called Beis Miloi. Vayorid Sila, and he went, which goes down. This is an area goes down to this place called Sila. Now, the Yehoyada ben Shemas, the Yehoyada ben Shimra, these two people, Avodav Hiku v'Meis. These two people and the servants, they went ahead and they finished them off. And now Yoash dies. V'Yikroi Sai im Avaisa be'er David. They buried him in Er David. Yimloich Amatzia B'noi Tachtav. And now Amatzia, the son takes over. Now who are these two people? So these two people, one's from Ammon and one's from Moav. So why Ammon and Moav? Because Ammon and Moav only existed because why? Because Avram raised light, in the war of the kings. So they went ahead later. With Rashi. Rashi says, well, later on, they went ahead and the Haim Sachu Bilam the Kalas Balav. So this because Ammon and Moav were the ultimate Kafet Taiv. So somebody Yoash was a Kafet Taiv, got punished through somebody who was a Kafet Taiv, and that was Ammon and Moav. Okay, and pasuk ends off Vayimloich Amatzia B'noi Tachtav, and now Amatzia takes over if the Yoash is to end the Perek Yud base.